Hello everyone, I'm Celsius. Nice to meet you here again. Today we will talk about this car, Nissan X-Trail. Yes? Do you have any idea? Is this Nissan X-Trail? Yep, you see the A pillar, B pillar, C pillar and D pillar. It is the first generation X-Trail. Yeah, I know that you were doubt about that. This is the Taiwan version, first generation Nissan X-Trail. The mechanism system and the powertrain, transmission and the platform are the same as what you expect the first generation X-Trail. But the exterior and the interior was changed by Taiwan Nissan, the Yulong. And the Yulong turns the original X-Trail from very boring, very single exterior and interior to be a luxury and very interesting visual contact. Okay, do you have any idea about the latest X-Trail? Do you ever believe that this car was the best-selling SUV in Taiwan during 2003 to 2004? But well, the latest X-Trail right here is not popular, and even I couldn't see one today. I was driving around 50 kilos from Tainan to here, Kaohsiung, but I didn't see any latest X-Trail. Why? And I believe the latest X-Trail is not popular no matter in Taiwan but also in North America. Why? Let's talk about the history about X-Trail and discuss why the X-Trail, the latest X-Trail, will be not popular right now. Okay, to compare with Honda and Toyota, Nissan got a little bit late to such sedan platform SUV called Metro SUV, late about 5 years. In 1995, the Honda and the Toyota presented the very first generation CR-V and the RAV-4, and it got very great reputation in the market. And later, people like to drive such SUV with the sedan platform because it is comfortable. Mercedes-Benz got the very first SUV called ML Class with the frame body, but failed. And later, the other, for example, the Suzuki Vitara, failed. But the Toyota and the CR-V successfully in the market. So Nissan think we should get another sedan platform SUV as well, because when Toyota and the Nissan and the Honda present the CR-V and the RAV-4, Nissan got Terrano, Regulus, and even Infiniti QX4 for the SUV response. But both of them has the frame body. It is not very comfortable when you're driving in the city, when you're driving on the road. So Nissan think, okay, let's take another way to take this chassis from the sedan. They take the MS platform, which was used on the Nissan Primera, Nissan Armera, to develop the very first generation Nissan X-Trail. In 1997 Tokyo Motor Show, Nissan present the Trail Runner concept car, but such concept car is combined with the sports car and the off-roader. That's totally different from the X-Trail presented in 2000. And later they got some comment to present the production version X-Trail in September 2000 Paris Motor Show. Why they chose the Paris Motor Show? That's right. After 1998, the Renault bought Nissan, and Renault hoped Nissan could enlarge the market in Europe, so they would like to present a European style SUV in 2000 Paris Motor Show. But actually, when we turn the results, the first generation X-Trail is not popular in Europe, but they got very popular in Taiwan and in Japan. In November 2000, Japan presented the first generation X-Trail. It fixed a lot of problem a lot of problem around the first generation CR-V and RAV-4. For example, it got very spacious interior. And when you sit inside, you will find this car is very bright. Okay, they got very big front screen, rear screen, and side window, as well as very big moonroof as well. So when you sit inside, you'll think, whoa, this car is very bright and very spacious. Second, they turn this car very easy to drive. For example, the edge point, which means the driver's seat and the passenger seat is not very much taller than the sedan. But compared with the CR-V second generation or the RAV-4 second generation, you will think this car, you have to sit very high. Just driving like an off-roader, but not for X-Trail. You can just drive it like a sedan. So this car got very popular in Japan. But why it got popular in Taiwan? That's very interesting. Talk about the rivals, you will think, okay, the CR-V and the Toyota RAV-4. But I'm sorry, when Taiwan Nissan Yulong presented this car in 2001, the CR-V and the RAV-4 got some problem as well. Why? Okay, let's talk about that. Taiwan Nissan Yulong, this company, presented Taiwan version Nissan X-Trail in 2001 and going to the market at December 2001. Yulong turned a lot of modify at the front and the rear and the interior as well. If you compare with the original first generation X-Trail, you will find the Taiwan version is got more luxury and more gorgeous. Actually, that's what Taiwan people loves. The Yulong make the modification from Nissan since 1996. The very first modification is for the B14 Nissan Sentra. They call it Sentra CE. They turned a small family sedan into a very luxury small sedan. They got a front grille, chromed grille, they got beige interior, they got woody trim and many luxury equipment in this small family sedan. And people here in Taiwan loves it. Oh, I like to buy it. And later, the Yulong also modified A32 Zafiro as well, and later got Zafiro A33 and even A34 exclusive for the Taiwan market. And they got a very big success. Talk about the sedan, they got a very success. And talk about the MPV, Yulong also modified the first generation Nissan Serena into a very luxury car, and got very successfully successfully selling in the market as well. So when Yulong take this mission to modify first generation X-Trail, that doesn't matter. And Yulong also got a very great job. So when I see the X-Trail Taiwan version at very first time, well, I think, oh, Yulong got a very great job. And people like to buy this car. And why? How about the CR-V and the RAV-4? Okay, let's talk about the story. The Taiwan was prohibited the Japan-made car imported to Taiwan during 1974 to 1997. And at 1997, because Taiwan wants to get into the WTO, they have to cancel this regulation. And at 1997, Taiwan Toyota and Taiwan Honda also would like to plan to import the CR-V and the RAV-4 from Japan. But they got a different destiny. The CR-V got very popular in Taiwan, and later the Taiwan Honda product this car. And but in other way, the RAV-4 first generation RAV-4 is not popular in Taiwan. People think it is like cargo car, it's like commercial car. People don't accept that car. So after 2001, the RAV-4 canceled to import to Taiwan, and the next generation is not sold in Taiwan entirely. In 2008, the Taiwan Toyota re-import the third generation minor change RAV-4 again, and till now. The RAV-4 is the best-selling SUV right now here in Taiwan, but not in 2001 when the X-Trail presented in Taiwan. That means there is no RAV-4 in the market when the first generation X-Trail sold in Taiwan. What lucky! How about the CR-V? Okay, I just said the first generation CR-V imported to Taiwan since 1997, and Taiwan started to produce this car since 1998, and it got a very great in sales figure and got the top sale, the best-selling SUV as well. But later in 2000, the Taiwan Honda got some problem with Honda in Japan. Actually, before 2002, the Taiwan Honda is presented by a company called SsangYong, and SsangYong got very long time cooperate with Honda Japan, maybe since 1960. They start from motorcycle, producing about the motorcycle, the CB125, and around 1970, the SsangYong got cooperate with Honda Japan to produce the Honda N360 and the T360, and later they produced the Honda Civic first generation. Until 2000, the Honda in Taiwan present a lot of cars by SsangYong, for example, CR-V, Accord, Civic. But they got some problem in 2000, and they said we will broken up in 2001. So there's no CR-V present in Taiwan in 2002 and 2003. And later, the headquarters of Honda Japan get into Taiwan to start the Taiwan Honda, and they produced the very first one is the second generation Honda CR-V. But they got a small factory. They couldn't produce many cars. So even the first generation X-Trail have to fight with the CR-V. That's a piece of cake because they couldn't produce many CR-V at the very first years when Taiwan Honda presented in 2003. The actual rivals for very first generation X-Trail in Taiwan is Ford Escape and Mazda Tribute. But we got luxury exterior and interior for this car, and this car is very easy to drive. So people like to buy X-Trail rather than Mazda Tribute and Ford Escape. That's why they got 2003 and 2004 best-selling SUV in Taiwan. And also, they got minor change here in Taiwan in 2005. Here now we see is the minor change styled Nissan X-Trail 2.5 2WD entry level. This car got a very powerful engine with 180 brake horsepower and for 2WD, so the acceleration is very hard, very sharp. And they also got the 4AT, not Nissan Xtronic CVT, so it won't broken. You don't have to worry about. If you bought the third generation Nissan X-Trail, you have to worry about transmission box, but not for the first generation X-Trail. But well, that's very interesting that you couldn't see many first generation X-Trail on road in Taiwan now. Why? I think that's the character about the Nissan. If you drive the Nissan, you will think, okay, it's very great when it's a new car, but when you get elder, they will get some problem. And at the interior, small problem. If you don't solve it, that's okay, but you will think that's a little bit problem. You don't like to keep this car many years. But when you drive the Toyota, maybe if you bought it from new car, you will think this car is boring. But when you drive years by years, you will think this car is endurable, and you would like to drive Toyota many years, but not for the Nissan. For example, this car will go to broken car yard maybe a week after. The owner for this X-Trail bought a new Ford Kuga, and he wants to get this car out. And there is no second-hand value for this car right now here in Taiwan. And I think this car, okay, it is very easy to drive, and you get a powerful engine, and it got a very good condition, a very good design for the exterior and the interior. But I don't like to keep this car as well. That's Nissan. I don't know why, but I don't like this. I don't want to drive this car permanently, I have to say. That's very interesting, right? And talk about this car, Nissan Taiwan Yulong got many modification at exterior and the interior, especially the interior. When you open the door, you will find, whoa, that's very luxury cars, very luxury SUV, even more luxury than Nissan Murano. Let's take a look about the interior. Come on. When you open the door, you see the door trim. Okay, that's woody trim, and then they got a leather. Of course, it is not real leather, but it is soft. I like this one. And when you see the interior, it got a beach interior. Yes, people in Taiwan like the beach interior in 2000 to 2009. I like this as well because I like the woody trim very great. So if you want a woody trim, you have to take with the beach interior. I like this style. And you don't also get a many modification for the dashboard, and which will let you looks like a Nissan Tiana. Yes, when I turn on the key, okay, let's find the key. Turn the switch on. Okay, turn it on. We don't have to start the engine. When you see the dashboard, okay, this instrument panel just the same as the J31 Nissan Tiana, right? There's another better way. Is they got the water temperature right here. There's no water temperature gauge in Nissan J31 Tiana. That's a pity. And talk about the screen is just the same as the Nissan Tiana J31, and we got a woody trim with the gear knob just similar with the Nissan J31 Tiana here in Taiwan. So this car just like looks like a gorgeous luxury car, right? And also Yulong at HUD right here, because this car got centerized dashboard right here. Actually, I don't like such a design, but I think the HUD helps a lot. And also Yulong got the 2B navigation system. When you push this button in 20 years ago, you can chat with the information center with the cell phone built in this car, and she will show you where to go and how to go with this screen. So they got a navigation right here. And we got 4-speed automatic transmission. There's no manual transmission XL here in Taiwan, but such 4-speed transmission is endurable. And we got an OD gear right here. And so if you want to drive in the city, the 180 brake horsepower is very powerful, I have to say. And take a look about the interior. They got a very big moonroof. When you open this moonroof, okay, you will think this car is bright, very bright. Oh, I like this feel right inside. And you drive this car, there's no problem to take this car at 4 ankles. There's no problem to see every ankles right about this car, especially when you want to park this car or turn the corner. That's very easy. But when you drive this Honda CR-V, that got a little bit of problem, I have to say. And especially the space at backseat is sufficient, as well as the space in the trunk. So this car got very cheap at the price and very luxury at interior. No wonder this car gets top sales ranking in 2003 and 2004. I have to say about that. And you don't get a lot of effort to modify this car. And certainly you don't also want to modify the second generation Nissan X-Trail, but you didn't do it. Why? Actually, that's very interesting. Talk about a SUV. People here in Taiwan may not remember X-Trail because there's no second generation X-Trail sold in Taiwan. Why? The first generation X-Trail produced till maybe 2008 in Taiwan. And later we got Nissan Rogue. Yes, American Nissan Rogue in Taiwan was imported to Taiwan in 2009. That's very interesting because since 2008, Yulong started the self-brand called Nissan called Luxgen here in Taiwan since 2008 till now. The first product for Luxgen is MPV, and later they got SUV. Such SUV is the same segment as well as the Nissan X-Trail. So Yulong wouldn't like to make the Luxgen SUV compete with Nissan X-Trail. So Yulong get a smart way is to stop produce X-Trail and import Nissan Rogue from Japan, because we got a lot of custom tax to pay. So Nissan Rogue is much expensive. It's more expensive than Nissan X-Trail, so it is not sales very well. It was not sold very well in Taiwan. But you don't find the Luxgen SUV didn't do well after 2 years. So Yulong produced the third generation Nissan X-Trail again since 2014. Well, such car is cheaper than Nissan Rogue and got full of equipment as well. But after 2008, people think the third generation Nissan X-Trail is too old. And when Toyota RAV-4 back to the Taiwan market in 2008, people would like to buy Toyota RAV-4 or Honda CR-V. People would think the X-Trail is old car, and it is a boring car, and the deadliest problem is the Nissan Xtronic CVT. So people wouldn't like to buy Nissan X-Trail since 2008. And now we got the fourth generation Nissan X-Trail since 2023, but they didn't sell. They are not sold well here in Taiwan. We got two segments for latest Nissan X-Trail. That's called Nissan X-Trail e-Power and the Nissan X-Trail. Nissan e-Power was imported from Japan and sold for 1.5 million Taiwan dollars. It is not very expensive because I think the quality, the atmosphere for latest Nissan X-Trail is like luxury car. It is close to infinity. But people don't like to buy this car because we here almost forget such car called Nissan X-Trail. And later, Yulong present the Taiwan-produced Nissan X-Trail for less than 1 million Taiwan dollars. But people also forget this car. That's a pity. And also, Nissan X-Trail didn't sold well in Japan as well as in China mainland and maybe rest of the world. They got many reasons, but all of the world don't like to the latest generation Nissan X-Trail. That's a big problem. I think you will also know, since October 2024, Nissan got a very big problem at the financial crisis. And people say they may like to merge with the Honda since December 2024, but they broken up again in January 2025. Oh, there is a very big problem for Nissan, and I hope Nissan could get up again to get around to get out of this problem again, please, because I like the brand Nissan and I like the car made by Nissan. For example, I like the Nissan Fuga, Nissan Cetera, Gloria, Nissan Skyline, and I ever drive a lot of cars produced by Nissan. I like this brand, so I hope Nissan could get out of this dilemma, get out of this problem, and reborn again. Just like the first generation Nissan X-Trail got very good sales figure in Taiwan in 2003 and 2004. Nissan could make a good car, can make a good selling. I hope it can present it again in the future. Okay, this is my video to talk about Nissan X-Trail first generation in Taiwan. Do you like the first generation Nissan X-Trail? How about the first generation and the latest generation X-Trail in your country? Please share your opinion with me at the comment. Thanks again. Okay, thanks for your watching and hope to see you again with another interesting car. See you again. Bye bye.